I am catching up. I'm Crypto Lifer, baby. 2x speed. He was in the house yesterday. It's a big deal, right? So if we want to spread the word, right, of good projects such as DeFi Kingdoms, baby. Part of my goal is to connect with guys like this. Crypto Lifer, he's got something like 40,000 subscribers. He gets 6,000 views on a lot of his videos. Love you guys. And he's a good dude. He's on BitBoy. I just watched him on Around the Blockchain on, I think that was Thursday. Good stuff going on. So he's a grinder, good dude, connected, right? So I'd love to cultivate crypto. Might be next. Spread the word, right? Get on with him. Talk DeFi Kingdoms. Talk crypto. All of crypto. Would love to even get on Around the Blockchain. But he's tight with guys like Crypto Wendio, different guys like that. Spread the awareness, right? We got to spread that awareness and connect, grow. That's how we grow. Okay. So that was a big deal also because, right, we talked about the weight token. This played out perfectly because I was so curious to see if he had heard of it or not, as I keep kind of diving into it, seeing if it's going to be a good, long-term coin to hold, right? But Jet, who's doing the next crypto gym, he's in which we're hoping DeFi Kingdoms will be on that TV show, first of all, that has George, I'm George, and all his audience is going to watch it. BitBoy, all his audience is going to watch it. BitBoy did a video the other day that had about 150,000 views. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize he's getting that much. Lots going. So all of those people, right? At least all of those people that are on the show, their followers, their subscribers, George's, he's talking about it. BitBoy's talking about it. They're going to get on and watch that TV show in which I'm hoping, we'll have DeFi Kingdoms on there, baby. I'm hoping they make it. They make it in the top 4 or whatever. We'll see. Or the top 16 and then the top 4. So as far as I know, they had a good shot. They had a good shot at it. I was getting some good feedback from George. I know that. Okay. And so they're going to watch, all the people that are going to watch that TV show are going to see the full-blown fundamentals of DeFi Kingdoms, the game. They're going to hear it right from Dreamer's mouth. It's going to be a pro crypto TV show. Big deal. So this has been kind of my approach, a big part of my approach and game plan on how, to spread the good word for DeFi Kingdoms and, making those connections. Okay. So that was a big deal. So be sure to watch that stream yesterday with Crypto Lifer. It was awesome. Be sure to go give him a shout out on his channel. Say, I saw you on Crypto Grady's channel. Love you, man. Great show. Things like that. Spread the good love, the good vibes. Like, subscribe, bell button. Okay. Today, let's talk about what the heck is going on with USDC, right? We thought that was a good coin. Did we? Did we think that was, the safest stable coin to get in, right? That's been the rumor. That's kind of been what the normal consensus is. Okay. But, if you have been paying attention to the channel and watching months ago, we've talked about this quite a bit. Talked about how USDC is not backed 1-to-1 by the dollar. So first of all, it's like, oh, I thought they were supposed to actually be backed. Nope. They're 20% backed 1-to-1 by the dollar. The other 80% is government bonds, which I'm not an expert in this realm, but my understanding is those bonds are worth substantially less than what they bought them at. Okay. The bonds are not worth as much now. A lot of them were dumping the bonds. What's up, guys? Okay. So maybe some other guys know more about this than me. I know. Thank you, Christian Peter, baby, Larry Binance. I love you guys. Yes, man. So be sure, to go, like, subscribe. All of that is so good. Okay. So we were talking about this for a long time that USDC, not only are they not backed 1-to-1 by the dollar, they're only 20% backed 1-to-1 by the dollar. The other 80% is backed by government bonds that have devalued since, they've been purchased. Not an expert in all this, so if I say anything wrong, just let me know. Yeah, thank you, Vibes. I love it. So, okay, on top of that, they're way deep in bed with all the people that we don't want to be in bed with in crypto, like enemies of crypto, essentially, like the bad actors. The reason why crypto exists. Why does crypto exist? 2008, we had all the banks crashing hard. Banks were going downhill fast. So what did the government do? Bailed them out. What did Satoshi Nakamoto do? Whoever that is, what did he do? He created Bitcoin because of the Ponzi scheme of the US dollar. Ponzi scheme, the US dollar, you know, that's the whole point of Bitcoin. It's supposed to be a hedge against inflation. We're wondering when that actually will be the case, when it actually becomes a risk off or risk on, like during risky times, instead of going to the dollar, instead of going to gold, where one of these days it's going to come where we start going to Bitcoin. When's that going to come? Okay, so because you started having bank runs happening back then. Well, what do we just have happen? We've had some bank runs happen where, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos. People are driving by with the line at the bank all the way outside and down the street. Several banks. We had Silicon Valley Bank, which is the 15th largest bank, I think, in the US or even the world. Forgot if it's the US or the world. I think it's the 15th largest bank in the US. Silvergate Bank, which was a super pro crypto friendly bank, that one also. There's also a couple other smaller banks, but these are big banks. Bank runs. The bank runs out of your money. It's because the bank doesn't have your money. The bank doesn't have a whole lot of reserves for the actual amount of money that they have. It's a fractional banking system. Okay, so that's kind of their game they've been playing. And USDC, Circle, USDC, BlackRock, Coinbase, right? These guys are all in bed with the big banks, Goldman Sachs, even. Okay, so I've never trusted them, and I think they had a lot of players behind them that aren't the best actors that we want to be with, right? So, okay, so let's talk about what happened with BUSD, Binance, Paxos. That one actually is the only stable coin that is backed one-to-one by the US dollar, okay? And so the SEC came after him, talking about how it's a security, right? BUSD is a security. So they don't like Binance and CZ. He's okay. So Paxos, I'm going to talk about Binance and CZ here in a second. But Paxos was the most, by far, legit above board stablecoin. They were going after it. They made claims about them not properly being backed and duplicating their coin and on different blockchains. And it's basically was BS, was my takeaway. And it's a ploy by the powers that be, if you ask me, that they were wanting to push the prominence of USDC, essentially. Okay, and a lot of us have been speculating that maybe the United States is trying to get the CBDC going, where the government stablecoin, essentially kind of replacing the dollar with a stablecoin, and we're all thinking it's going to be USDC. Who knows what's going on there? But I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Is this a house of cards falling? What's going on? Okay. Yeah. So the SEC was protecting us, right, against BUSD. Okay. Right. All right. So gotta love it. Okay. So here's the problem, guys. On Friday, okay. Yeah, get the gist. Yeah, with the bonds, I just traded all my stables into E. Yes, that's exactly what I did, baby. Throw in Avalanche in there. Okay, so you're buying Vibes. That could be, but here's the issue with USDC. Okay, on Friday, they turned off the ability to claim your USDC and get cash, right, from the source of USDC. Like with USDT, you can go hit them up. You can give them your USDT and you get $1 back per USDT. And that USDT, as we know, is another one that's been big time under attack for years, and it's actually stood the test. It's withheld all kinds of tests against it. I mean, earlier when Luna crash happened, they withheld like a $20 billion run, and they were just fine, claimed just fine. Isn't that ironic? USDT is the one that we've all been, and I'm still skeptical against USDT, but I've even said here on the channel that I'm even more skeptical on USDC because of who they're in bed with. There's an agenda. They can essentially, USDC can tap into the money printer, like to the Fed. I mean, that's kind of how they're rolling. Okay. So, and I have posted and I tweeted out a Coin Bureau video on that, on USDC. It's a good one. I think he took down the one he had over a year ago. That one was even better, but this, he kind of like updated it with this one that's like 5 months old. Okay. So here's the problem. Friday, they actually shut her down. We couldn't go redeem our USDC. So, okay. So that's a problem. Like anytime that happens, what happened when Celsius shut down withdrawals? What happened when Voyager shut down withdrawals? What happened when BlackRock shut down withdrawals? Like that's concerning because, right, we have the banks, we're having bank runs. This is why we're in crypto in the first place. We all know that the dollar is a Ponzi. So we're starting to see the beginning of bank runs. So with Silicon Valley Bank, what's going on there is you have big time tech companies all over the world, like Roku, for example. Roku had about $500 million in that bank. That was just like their bank account. They had $500 million, which was about 27% of their money in Silicon Valley Bank. It's gone. It's not FDIC insured. The businesses only only like 2.4% of all of that money is FDIC insured. The other 97.6-ish% of all of that money in Silicon Valley Bank is FDIC insured. So that's pretty much most of their money. And we're talking, my understanding, tens of billions of dollars with that bank. Okay. So all kinds of companies. What's going to happen Monday morning when, all these companies now can't get their cash? There's a bank run. So companies like Roku, whoever else had their money in there. So, that causes the stock market to crash. And other banks, potentially, that they have investments in different things, stocks, all right? If they're invested in anything that has their money at that bank or any of these banks, I think that's like, I've heard, I don't know exactly, like 3 or 4 or 5 different banks have basically shutting down the doors. They're going insolvent, bank run. Okay. And this is just the biggest one, Silicon Valley Bank. So, and USDC had $3.3 billion of their reserves in this bank. Okay. And their current market cap is something, it's come way down. It was over 50 billion. I think it's 30 some billion market cap, or maybe it's close to 40. We can take a quick peek here. We've got CoinGecko up. Let's take a look. All right. Now, fortunately, it did come up. It has come up. Look at that, 96 cents. That's good. Okay. But here's where I'm a little bit nervous, right, about this. So what is USDC going to do? Okay. It's about a $40 million market cap currently. Okay. Just shy of a $40 million market cap. So what's going to happen Monday morning? Is USDC just going to open it up to where people can start cashing out their USDC? I don't know why they would. Okay, because why would they have shut it down Friday if they're just going to open it up on Monday after all this panic after the weekend? I doubt it. So people aren't going to be able to claim their USDC. It's unclaimable. Okay. So, and I can't imagine them opening it up. If they do open it up, okay, here it's a lose-lose situation. If they do open it up, everybody's just going to sell it and get it out and cash their money out, probably. And it's going to go down fast. If they don't actually have the backing and the reserves to pay that out, what are they going to do? They're just going to have to shut down again. Okay, so then what's going to happen? So if they don't open it up, which I doubt they'll open up where we can actually get our money back. Okay. If you go straight to the source, with which us peons can't do that, but people with, or if you were in USDC, right, early on, even peons can go like get their cash. Okay. But we can't. But we're talking the bigger companies. Coinbase shut it down. You can't send your USDC to Coinbase and sell it into cash. Can't do it. Okay. And somebody said you can't even send your USDC out, which I doubt that. I think you can trade it, right? Or is even trading shut down? Okay. So here's the problem with this bank having a bank run. This could just be the start of multiple bank runs, because we know the banks don't have your cash. This is why I was so big on Luna, Terra Luna. Okay, for a zillion different reasons. It was true decentralized banking. You had a debit. You could, if here in America it was coming, maybe in some states it was already here, but in South Korea, debit card, you had your wallet, you could 100% bypass the banks. Now we don't have that. We don't have decentralized, trustworthy, decentralized stable coins. Okay. And that's like use case number one, for crypto, essentially. I mean, that's always been the dream come true, when we can 100% bypass the banks. Well, we don't want to get into all my conspiracy theories with that. Okay. There's a lot of different ideas, okay, behind all that. It was actually in the first time in world history, in banking history, had the banks ever actually had a real threat. And it was the Luna ecosystem. And it blew up from 1 billion to 20 billion market cap in literally 3 months. And banks saw that. They felt the pain of $20 billion leaving out of their bank accounts. Okay. And so don't get me started on that. So if Circle does not open up withdrawals of USDC, USD coin, okay, what's going to happen? People are going to further panic. The only option to get out of that coin is you have to go decentralized. You have to send it to a DEX and dump it. That's the only way to get out of it. Okay. And I don't think they're going to open up. So it's a lose-lose. You lose either way. So as the panic begins to rise, because they're not opening up withdrawals of the USDC, everyone's going to start dumping it again. It's just the natural flow of what's going to happen. Okay. And so I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Also, do we know? I can't find out if Paxos is in that bank that just collapsed. That Silicon Valley Bank is BUSD. Do they have any of their reserves there? And on top of that, with USDC, they have $3.3 billion of reserves there. And how much cash reserves do they even have? Okay, because they only hold 20% in cash backing it. They're going to have to do what Silicon Valley Bank did. What did Silicon Valley Bank do? What did Silvergate Bank do? Here's what they did. They started selling off all their bonds, and their bonds were way underwater. Okay. And Silicon Valley Bank sold a ton of bonds to liquidate, to try and stay liquid, to try and not go under. And they took like a $2 billion loss just on their bond selling. Okay. It's like not good. So there's going to be a spiraling effect that happens. This is going to hurt. This is really more going to hurt potentially the fiat world out there. Okay. So what do we do? Where do we put our money? Do we want to put our money in the banks? That's always made me nervous for years. Okay. Honestly, because it's like, I'm surprised we haven't had several bank runs. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this, because the banks have literally, They don't even have to have 1% anymore of cash on hand of what they have in deposits. Like at any specific local bank. Your local bank, they even took that away. They took it away. They don't even have to back 1% of the dollars anymore. It was 10%, then they went to 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, and then 1%, and then they even pulled that. Okay, so literally the bank could just, okay, and then if we have less, if we have the first $250,000 you have in there is FDIC insured, okay, might not be a bad idea for some of us, right? Just put it in the bank, okay? But do we really want it in the bank? What if there is a bank run? Do we want to mess with FDIC insurance? How long does that take to get a claim from FDIC insurance? I don't even know. Okay. And it's not really something I want to deal with. So it's like, that's a bad option. I don't want my money. I've never liked having my money in the bank. Okay. And I'm just guessing that there's going to be more banks that has this begin to happen. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this has been our concern the whole time. This is why we have Bitcoin. Do we want to put it in? I would still, honestly, for me, the coin I trust the most stable coin wise is BUSD. Paxos always has been because it's actually backed. But do we want a bunch in BUSD? Because what if come Monday morning, Tuesday morning or something, we find out Paxos had a bunch of reserves with Silicon Valley Bank or with Silvergate for all, we know there. Okay. How about USDT? Where do they have their reserves? Could they have that in the bank? We don't know, and I can't find that information. If anybody knows, I'd love to know. Okay. About 8% of their cash. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're going to get 100% of it back, Vibes. I don't think so. It's not FDIC insured. They're out of money. No, I don't think so, Vibes. I don't think so. I don't think they'll just get that back. They ran out of money. They have no money. And it's not FDIC insured. Yeah, they could get something like 60 cents on the dollar for the bonds, right? Yeah, FDIC will not recoup the funds. That's right. Yeah, Vibes, there's no way they can get that money back. They're out of money. Otherwise, they would have gotten it back. Okay. Yeah, not happening, Stomp. Okay. So what percentage of USDC's money is actually backed by the dollar versus the bonds? Okay. Believe me, a company does not shut down. When I thought this about Voyager, about Celsius, thought it about USDT or UST, I mean, even though that's completely different, it's an algorithmic stablecoin. So they'll probably get a percentage of it back, but definitely not 100% of it back. When Voyager shut down, I was like, surely this is going to be fine, right? But once a company gets to where they actually shut down withdrawals, it's hard to break free from that. Okay, so here's what could happen. The government maybe bails them out, right? But haven't they been trying to lower this issue with inflation? So that's going to be insane if the government does bail them out. But in the short term, that'll be good. The markets will pump, everything will be good, and the dollar will become more and more worthless over time. Then what are they going to do? Start, trying to deal with inflation again? They're just going to kick the can down the road. That's possible. So if they open up withdrawals, I can tell you this. Everybody's going to withdraw. There's going to be billions of USDC claimed and withdrawn out of there. Okay, billions. Without question, right off the bat on Monday morning. People are going to be getting out. Okay, which means they probably won't open up the withdrawals. This has all happened everywhere else. This is how this works. Okay. And so if there's not withdrawals, people are going to be like, oh shit, I got to get out of this USDC. They're going to go be trading it. They're going to dump it on decentralized exchanges. That's why it lost its peg. Okay. Now it's nice to see it recouping. If it were me, so here's what I did. Fortunately, I have pretty much had most of my stables actually in BUSD still and in true TUSD. Okay, true USD, which I think is a pretty good one too. Okay. And so I'm even thinking about getting out of those. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. Should I send it to my bank? Probably should send some of it to the bank, even though I know I don't trust the banks. What do we do? What was Bitcoin made for? Yeah. So how does this affect companies like Coinbase? So Coinbase is tied in with USDC, and Coinbase turned it off to where you cannot sell your USDC and cash it out. And I think maybe Binance did. Maybe. Even though I don't even think they had that function. Did they? Okay. Yes, baby. Going into gold. Here's what I've done. I found anywhere that I had any USDC and got out of it into Bitcoin. I did buy some Ethereum too. I bought a little bit of Avalanche. So I even been selling off my USDT, okay, and because we don't know where USDT's reserves are. We don't know where they are. They could be in some of these banks. This is a house of cards, and we've always known this is coming. We've always known the house of cards will someday collapse, and then the government will swoop in like a white knight to save us all, right? And they're probably going to create their own CBDC government money, just like China's done, just like, this is what people are doing. So I don't like gold either. I'd rather go into Bitcoin. Cardano. Yeah, the Cardano has a stable coin that's held up real well. That's interesting. Yes, I bought up some Jewel and some Bitcoin, paired those together, put them in the pool, baby. Yes, sir. So I'm buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avalanche, even a little KLAY token, and some Jewel, pairing those up. Finding anywhere where I have stable coins trickling around at different spots. Fortunately, I didn't have hardly any USDC, but even on this new Mind Games thing, I was selling off the profits there into USDC, and I forgot, and I realized that last night, and I went and sold it there. And I actually, I think I sold that into Ethereum. They're an Arbitrum. Okay. So they're either going to open up the claims for USDC on Monday morning, in which case, mark my words, it will have a substantial amount of claims happening fast. People are going to get out of USDC. If they don't open it up, which I don't think they will, which means you can't get your USDC claimed. That's bad. That's really bad news. So I guess if I had to pick which is better, obviously open it up. But they're not going to open it up because they already closed it. Why would they open it up on Monday if they closed it on Friday? So they're not going to open it up. So as the day goes on Monday and then Tuesday, everybody's going to go panic sell on all these different exchanges and dexes. This is why Bitcoin was created in the first place, to deal with the house of cards called our fractional reserve financial system. This is why we have Bitcoin. Did anybody buy Crystal? Right, that's interesting. We can talk some in-game DeFi Kingdoms, in-game economy, baby. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm saying from what I can see, Circle is handling any shortfall from USDC. Yeah, they'll raise capital. That's possible. It is possible it'll be fine. You know, even the government might just step in and bail them out. It's probably going to be fine. So let's start there. But I don't know. Is Circle just going to fork out that extra cash that they won't be able to recuperate? And if this is the case, my question is, why did they halt the withdrawals? They could have already, they didn't have to halt the withdrawals. It's not like the withdrawals that were coming through were anything too crazy. They didn't get hit as hard as Tether's been hit multiple times. Okay, Tether's been hit with multiple billions of dollars of bank runs in the past, and they never shut down. Never shut down that I'm aware of. I don't think ever has Tether ever shut down the claims, ever, 1-to-1, ever. In its, 6, 7, 8-year history. Okay. I think one time Tether wicked down, maybe down one time to like 92 cents, maybe, for like a hot minute. But never did their withdrawal claims ever go away, ever. They've always had that open. So the people that can just go get 1-to-1, exchange one Tether for $1, that's never shut down. Yeah, but see, Vibes, they closed it early in the day yesterday. They closed it before the banks closed. Yeah. And so I would just say, especially now, okay, USDC is back up. Get the hell out of it. Just my advice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. I was getting out yesterday around 95 cents, 92 to 95 cents. I hope they open it, and I hope it's all good. I hope there's no more bank runs, but we're going to see the stock market crashing, okay, because a lot of these companies had a lot of money with that bank, Silicon Valley Bank, a lot of different tech companies. That's going to affect other companies, and banks will be affected by that. And this is how the downward spiral begins of the fiat system. This is why we have Bitcoin. So I keep trying to wrap my mind around it, what to do. And I think I'm just going to be buying up a lot of Bitcoin. Some Ethereum, some Avalanche, some KLAY, some Joule, baby. That's what I'm doing. But I still, I'm trying to figure out how much money do I want in the bank? Okay, so I did, and just to make sure I can even cash it out, because another thing that's been going on is they're trying to, like with the Silvergate Bank issue, they're just trying to shut down fiat off and on ramps into crypto. And so that's been a challenge for crypto.com. You can't connect your bank account anymore to cash out. Okay. Sell your crypto into cash it out. Can't do it. I think maybe you can still do a debit card. I'm not even sure if that's true. Okay. So, yeah. Their tweet was pretty concerning to me when I've read their Circle's Twitter account. So how much money do we want in the bank? Because I think this is just the start of a whole lot of bank runs on different banks, which will then create a whole lot of problems with companies and businesses that have their money in the banks. And this is why we have Bitcoin. and gold, you can argue gold and silver. I just don't want gold anymore. When we got Bitcoin. And what are you going to do? Keep a bunch of gold at your house or something? Some people do that. That's interesting to me. Okay. I think some money will sink into crypto market so that some regulated party must jump in also. Interesting. So I keep racking my brain on what to do with my BUSD and true TUSD. But it is working, by the way. So I sent some BUSD into Binance.us, cashed it out. So in Binance.us, one thing here, let me show you guys. Okay. Shared a tweet. Update, Monday morning resumes 1-to-1 redemption. Really? Did that just come out? Well, let's take a look here at this tweet. Issuance and redemption is constrained by the working hours of the U.S. banking system. USDC liquidity operations will resume as normal when banks open on Monday morning in the United States. As a practical matter, our teams are well prepared to handle significant volume built on strong liquidity reserve assets discussed below. As regulated payment token, USDC will remain redeemable 1-for-1 with the US dollar. What just happened? Silicon Valley Bank, a trusted partner to the U.S. innovation economy, has just suffered a classic bank run, much like those we saw during the financial crisis in 2008. Few traditional banks have significant liquidity to withstand such a run. What is the impact on the USDC reserve? USDC is 100% collateralized with a combination of cash and U.S. treasuries. Specifically, USDC is currently collateralized 77%, about 32.4 billion, with U.S. Treasury bills with a 3-month or less maturation period. Okay. The remaining 20%, which is about 9.7 billion, is in cash. Last week, we took action to reduce bank risk and deposited 5.4 billion with BNY Mellon, one of the largest and most stable financial institutions in the world, known for the strength of their balance sheet and as a custodian. 3.3 billion of USDC's. Okay. 3.3 billion of USDC's cash reserves remain at Silicon Valley Bank. As of Thursday, we had initiated transfers of these funds to other banking partners, though these transfers had not yet been settled. And as of close of business Friday, we remain confident in the FDIC's management of SVB situation and stand ready to receive these funds. 1 billion of the USDC reserves is held with Customers Bank as the industry looks to expand their transaction settlement operations, and Circle maintains transaction and settlement accounts for USDC with Signature Bank. Both are important banks to the digital asset industry. USDC has zero exposure to Silvergate. Okay. We had transferred out what were limited reserves to support transaction settlement with USDC prior to bank closure. Okay. What do we expect with Silicon Valley Bank and the FDIC? We have reason to believe that under applicable FDIC policy, transfers initiated prior to a bank entering receivership would have otherwise been processed normally. In other words, the FDIC should allow transactions to settle in the ordinary course through the end of the bank's standard daily processing cycle until the FDIC takes control of the failed institution. We understand that the FDIC is currently determining the status of transactions initiated prior to the applicable receivership cutoff times, and if possible, that the transfers initiated on Thursday will be processed on Monday. So I guess he said that that's the case. It's going to transfer. He initiated the transfer on Thursday. Isn't that what he said? Okay. Moreover, Silicon Valley Bank has a strong franchise that is at the center of American entrepreneurship and technology industry growth. We are hopeful that FDIC, as a receiver, will seek a rapid purchase and assumption of a franchise as strong as SVB's to ensure all depositors are made whole. However, it is also possible that SVB may not return 100% and that any return might take some time as the FDIC issues IOUs, i.e. receivers, certificates, and advanced dividends to deposit holders. In such case, Circle, as required by law under stored value money transmission regulation, will stand behind USDC and cover any shortfall using corporate resources involving external capital if necessary. So he just said, yeah, even if they don't get it back, he's going to back it. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Which is what you guys are saying, what Vibes was saying there, I think. Okay. When did all that go out? Is that pretty new? Or was that earlier? 4 hours? Okay. Huh. There's even more. That sounds positive. That sounds good. That all sounds pretty good. And he said on Monday morning it opens up 1-to-1 redemption. Okay. Steady, lads. That's basically what he's saying, isn't it? Why did HBTC Moon? Yeah, Bitcoin, like, it must have probably some big player was dumping USDC or USDT into Bitcoin, possibly on a different blockchain. Huh. Steady, lads. I love it. Stomp. I love you guys. So I've just been racking my brain all day on what to do, how this is going to shake out, trying to think ahead. Any other thoughts, you guys? So that all sounds pretty positive. Circle's saying they'll even back it. If they don't get that 3.3 billion back, they'll even back it. That's positive. Hopefully Circle can do that. As we saw with the Luna situation, was just a small example of bank runs. It affects one thing and then another and then another and then another. He might think he has money in his left hand because this 3.3 billion, maybe let's just assume is gone. Then you think you've got money over here, and then for other reasons that trickle down, then you realize, oh, that's gone too. And so that's what's happened. That's why all these companies keep crashing. Because they actually think they have it, but they don't. For other reasons. Yeah, FDIC took over Silicon Valley Bank. Someone has to step up, and U.S. government, and set up a sale, right? Until the top 4 banks are about to revive an influx of deposits. Yeah. Still going to be sluggish the next couple of weeks, right? I don't trust it. Where we know the biggest safe haven on earth is Bitcoin. So, and we know Jewel, baby, deflationary. That's interesting. If they actually open it up Monday morning, let's see what happens. He even said, we're ready for a bunch of withdrawals, basically is what he said. Let's see how that shakes out. We're definitely hoping for the best. We don't want to see this kind of stuff happen. Yeah. That is good news. I know the DeFi Kingdoms team has a lot of their reserves in USDC. And I remember I was like trying to get Bolin in a headlock to get into BUSD. Okay. All right. What else is going on? The DeFi Kingdoms community is absolutely downtrodden, man. So here's the deal. Yo, Ryder, baby. Literally just bought 15K more tiers and more Jewel. You are the man, baby. 15,000 tiers. Woo. Baby. I love it. Yeah, tell us more. Yeah, I've been so busy. Me too, man. I was kept wanting to get on the channel, and then stuff keeps popping up, and I'm trying to really know what the hell's going on out there. Yeah. So I've always been surprised that there's not bank runs happening, honestly. Like, I don't trust the banks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only thing that makes Tether not as scary is that they've been under attack a lot harder than this. They've been dealt some blows, and they have not ever depegged like this that I'm aware of ever. So they've stood the test of time more. All the FUD is always on Tether. And of course, I don't trust Tether at all either. They've been around a lot longer. And I just honestly am shocked that Tether has even survived, let alone to be the number 3 overall market cap coin. And so start over, baby, 2x speed. If you're just coming in, start over, 2x speed, catch up. Okay. So DeFi Kingdoms, of all times in DeFi Kingdoms history ever, should the sentiment be higher and better than ever right now, the sentiment of the DeFi Kingdoms community and ecosystem should be the highest right now that it's ever been. But it's like the lowest almost. It's not quite as bad as it was back in after the bridge hack. That was at its low for sure. But right now, The DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem sentiment is so disturbingly low. It's like, what in the heck, man? And so everything keeps crashing. You can't trust these numbers now, actually. Dang it. Because all these numbers are based off USDC. Interesting. Whereas CoinGecko, I think, has the Klaytn price correct. Let's see. 21.9. 22.89. Okay. Yeah. So USDC is coming back up. That's good. So these prices are a little bit more accurate. I think the actual value of Jade is like 3.8 cents. And I think the actual value of Crystal, I mean, that's what it was earlier. Crystal, we know there's about to be a pretty big dumping, unlocking of Crystal coming. So I'm surprised that the gap between Crystal and Jade is this much. Doesn't make too much sense to me. Like, if you want to go into the pools and create liquidity, you're much better off to do it with Jade. If you want to summon and hatch eggs and duel, you're much better off doing it with Jade as compared to Crystal. I'm surprised we've had this much of a gap. Okay. Yeah, people talk shit about Tether all the time. And now it's like, it's still number 3. It's number 3 on the market cap, right? And remember, when USDC really first was coming on the scene, their whole thing was like 1-to-1 backed. And then it turns out they're 20% backed. And, you know, we've known this for a while. They're all in bed with BlackRock and Goldman Sachs, Circle. You know, I don't trust them. Okay. Those wondering why BTC went up is because choices are limited to where to transfer your USDC, as many people don't trust USDT. Therefore, put it in one of the safest crypto assets, baby. That's right, Loki. I'm feeling it. Okay, so I feel like the reason why crypto is here is to deal with this. So I would say there's a very reasonable amount of risk for more banks to have bank runs. And then it'll just cause more other banks to have more other bank runs and more other businesses to lose their money and then more bank runs. Like, I'm just shocked this hasn't happened for years. So the government is going to have to step in and bail that out. So here's where it turns bullish. Okay. The government, there's no way in hell the government's going to raise the rates. I don't think. And Elizabeth Warren is going to be this hero, you know, the way she stood up against Powell. Stopping the interest rate hikes is going to be her narrative. That's an easy one to see from a mile away. Okay, even though obviously she's responsible for all the money printing and the reason why we got into this problem in the first place, the trillions and trillions of dollars they've been printing out of thin air, like, they kept doing it too. So like, they just, remember all those stimulus stuff going on, even after it was like we were kind of over COVID, and he just kept doing it, like, to the tune of trillions of dollars. Just kept doing it. It was like, okay, to like pay rent and do this and that and food and all this stuff. You got so-and-so dollars per kid and this and that. Okay, and now they've been trying to like bankrupt people and get people out, kick people out of jobs and foreclose on houses to help mitigate inflation. And it's like that helps only those on the top who are manipulating everything. That's the rich get richer in that scenario. And it's such a farce. It's such a scam. Okay. Read a little bit about the cause. Let's hear it, baby. Read a little bit about the cause of SVB, which is Silicon Valley Bank, they parked their deposits in investments that made sense in 0% interest rate times, but now must be in others in same positions. Who's next? Right. Hey, if somebody wants to come on the channel and talk about this, if you know what you're talking about, hit me up, iOS code. Could bring you on, baby. Keep this in perspective. Only 8% of Circle's USDC was there, right? The peg dropped below. That was due to fear, and it's now recovering. Right, but if there's so what if $10 billion comes out on Monday morning? That 8% suddenly becomes 33%. And then what if another $10 billion comes out on Tuesday? Now it becomes whatever. Now it becomes 3.3 billion divided by 20. Okay, that's actually 33% after. If 20 billion were to come out, which I would expect a lot to come out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, start over. 2x speed, baby. Catch up if you're just coming in. But that is a pretty good update there on Twitter that somebody just sent me. Who just sent me that? Okay. I love it. Yeah. So businesses won't be able to meet payroll. Yeah. And so there's other businesses that had money there. And then when those businesses go under, okay, banks may have investments in those businesses. So then banks, the other banks, it just becomes a house of cards that begins to fall on multiple different fronts. And so a lot of times when you think you have money over here, you turn around and you realize you don't, because that had a house of cards crumble. I've been there. I went through it because I thought diversified. I had stable coins all over the place. So I was in Luna, heavily in Anchor Protocol, but I was also in Phantom ecosystem and stuff, and had stable coins all over the place that a bunch of them collapsed at that time. And it's just crazy how everything's shaken out over this last year, man. Bringing back memories. Got some PTSD going on here. So here's what we know. Yes, what's up? Wait. Yeah. Sage Haven right now. Let's take a look at Wait. What's going on with Wait, baby? I wonder, and I was trying to catch up before I was watching when I started the video. I was watching Crypto Lifer, baby. He was going to talk about it. Okay. I think he did a video last night. Maybe he didn't talk about it with all this stuff going on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's holding pretty steady. Holding pretty steady there. That's the 1-day chart. Look at the 90-day chart. Just wild on this thing. So I'm excited. You know, I was even trying to get Jet on the channel. That'd be cool. Yeah, trauma. A lot of money. I know, man. It was just relentless. Everywhere I was turning, it was like I just lost money there too. There. And like even when I was in Luna, like a lot of times what I was doing, you know, when I was selling out, I was in like almost every single dApp in the ecosystem within Luna. And I was selling stuff out. In my mind, I was selling it into BUSD and selling it into Bitcoin, selling it into Ethereum and Bitcoin. And then I would like leave it there, think I was good. Okay, I've got into Bitcoin. And then I'd scramble somewhere else, rinse and repeat. And then I was just scrambling constantly. Phantom ecosystem got wrecked bad. Like, okay. And then I'm just in a big funk, right? So then eventually I come back to it and it's like, okay, I want to get my BUSD. I want to get my Bitcoin, my Solana, my Ethereum and stuff out of here. And then there's no bridge. We couldn't bridge it out of there. So it's still on there. And it was like everywhere. And then next thing we know, wasn't long after that, the bridge hack with Harmony, which I had a ton like that. I was sending a lot of it just into Harmony from Luna, you know, sending it over. That was brutal. Okay, being a CPA, I follow this pretty closely. When interest rates increase, value of bonds drop. Right. So banks don't have to recognize this loss unless they have to sell, which, right, Silicon Valley Bank did due to poor asset management. That's right. So they were selling all those bonds at a massive loss. So we know the good news here, probably from this, is they're not going to keep raising the rates. I got in a debate with somebody over it in Denver. It was funny. It's like, I don't think they're going to keep raising the rates. They can't, because it's going to put a squeeze on these banks too. It's going to squeeze the banks too hard. They'd have to pay higher interest rates. Okay. As they do that. Yeah. I just read yes, it will step up. So I just read that out loud. I read the Circle announcement. U.S. government needs to step up and back FDIC. If not, then they are aware of a deeper issue that we are not onto. Yeah, trauma. Poor assessment is really what it was, like poor asset management. Okay, I'm not worried about USDC. Hopefully they aren't panicking and trading 2 million for 5 cents like that one guy did. I can't even believe that. You'll have to explain to me how that was even possible, iOS code. How was that even possible in Uniswap's code? Like, how did he, just because you have slippage set high, if I'm trading $2 million and I get 5 cents, something's not right. Yeah, nice bit of consolidation now for weight. Probably needed, yeah, after this run with weight. Like, what the heck, man? Yeah, we good. The next crypto gym starts filming this month. That's right. At the end of the month, baby. And then Jet told me he thinks hopefully it's going to be out in the early summer. Okay. Like by June, hopefully, maybe even by May, but probably not. He told me. Okay. No, they didn't recover anything from the bridge hack. It's like, and Harmony was awful in how they handled that. And it's just the guy at top, the top dog of Harmony, effed up his entire blockchain. And they are trying to, he's all of a sudden now, he's trying to recover like Harmony. He's trying to get Harmony going again. It's like, maybe you should have done something when like Ogre flew out to try and help you and all the people and you just blew them off. And you did they came on and would do these AMAs, and it was just a song and dance. It wasn't anything of substance. It's crazy. Something to do with an aggregator. Huh. Not totally familiar with these. Huh. Yeah. So wasn't it just a Uniswap trade? I thought iOS code. Yeah, 2 million for 2 million and like $80,000. $2,080,000 swapped in a Uniswap trade for 5 cents. Yeah, they offered the hacker 1 million. They should have offered him even more. They should have kept upping that. Maybe they upped it to 2 million. And the hacker, of course, is a dumbass. He's never going to see a penny of that. And he will get caught eventually. Unequivocally, he will be in jail one day. Or all those funds are still just going to be sitting in a wallet, doing nothing forever. Freaking crazy, man. Okay. So, and then what the heck are they going to do when they recover it? The government's just probably going to keep it. Oh. So I've been predicting for years. I mean, back in the day, I don't know if you guys, I remember I was a young buck, didn't know anything about anything, but it was like Ron Paul for president 2008. Hope for America before it's too late. It was just, because he was calling this type of thing like a financial collapse way back in the day. And so I just remember thinking we were already balls deep in debt. Okay. And then for what I thought, like apparently we were kind of past COVID for apparently almost no reason at all. They just decided to do like another like $6 billion worth of stimulus. Biden did when he came, or more, maybe even more. And it was like, what is he doing? I was just like, are they literally just done with the dollar, just completely trying to wreck the dollar? And so, and they were already so mind-blowingly balls deep in debt at that point. And then he does another 6 trillion freaking stimulus and wanted to keep going. It was nuts. Umar, I love you, baby. So at that point, I was like, dollar's done. I've just been waiting for it. I've been waiting for all their shenanigans. It's manipulation. It's BS. But at some point, it'll be a house of cards that falls. At some point. Who knows when? Okay? And then they're going to position themselves to be our hero and swoop in and replace the dollar with something. Like we've been waiting for that, right? For years. For years and years. But just the fact that this happened kind of out of nowhere a little bit. It's not like in Tether's case, Tether gets full on frontal attacks. I mean, straight up attacks. And bank runs happen on Tether, and they never really ever at all have a problem at all. Tether doesn't. Isn't that wild? But then this, like it, I don't know, it just tells me how frail USDC is. Because it didn't take much for it to depeg all the way down to 87 cents. It's weird to me. I don't get it. It's like, it's not like USDC faced anything like UST did in Luna. They were just balls deep attacked. Tether's been balls deep attacked by everybody. How are they still so prominent? It's just mind blowing to me. I don't get it, honestly. Just so like hardcore, intense frontal attacks on Tether since I can remember, since like 2016. Yeah, Fed's quantitative tightening hurts regional banks more so than the large banks since they have to borrow money from the Feds at a higher interest rate than large banks. Silicon Valley Bank is a regional bank, really? Because they're the 15th largest bank in the United States, I think, maybe even in the world, but I'm pretty sure that was actually in the United States. With how many tens of billions of dollars did they have? I don't think that's just a regional bank, is it? But I don't know. I have no idea. So how many large banks are there? If the top 15 isn't considered large, what is it, just like the top 5 or 10 that are considered large? Maybe Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Chase, Citibank, Bank of America, US Bank. Are those like the only ones considered the large banks? Okay, I don't know. So I thought, I mean, this is a big bank, and I'm pretty sure it was multiple tens of billions of dollars. Okay, so back to DeFi Kingdoms, baby. Yeah, this hourglass weight is so interesting. It's so interesting. So I wonder what the use case is going to be of the token, but I know that he definitely, without question, has hardcore vision for a awesome use case and awesome tokenomics and all of that. Wants to be legit, not a pump and dump. Okay. Yes, I would love to get Jet live on the channel. Oh, hey, let's shout out Jet. He actually said he would, but that was months ago, and he was scrambling trying to get the show going. And then since then, he's landed all these absolutely massive partnerships. Okay. But I did hit him up. I talked to him for a long time. Like almost every day we chat. It's hilarious. Pretty much. He'll just send me stuff out of nowhere that's just hilarious too. Okay. Happened through the automatic swap function into the liquid pool worth of approximately $2. And then the bot trading the arbitrage reduced it to 5 cents. Like, what? I don't get it. Loki, thanks for all your answers, guys. I love it. Man. So, okay. I would love to get Jet on the channel, man. That would be so cool. Maybe I'll hit him up again. Poke him a little bit. Love that guy. He's just amazing. Okay. So, and I don't even know how the hell he has all this time. He's just so Johnny on it. He is Mr. Johnny on the spot. Johnny, he's on the ball almost. He is like a machine. Jet. He's a gem, man. So DeFi Kingdoms. At a time when the ecosystem should be at the largest sentiment ever, the fundamentals for DeFi Kingdoms. So this stuff is coming. Yeah, poke him from all sides. Let's do it. You got to hit him. Dude is a machine. That's right. So at a time when DeFi Kingdoms, when the sentiment should never be higher than now. Okay, it's almost at its lowest. Very little engagement in the ecosystem even. You've got, because we've all lost so much money, we've been waiting patiently. It's been like 9 months of 10 months. It's been brutal. For 10 months. We've been going through it, man. So what is like the dream team of all crypto dream teams, one of the most phenomenal projects in all of crypto, okay, with so much going for it, the best tokenomics you could imagine with Joule, deflationary gas token, for something close to 4,000 Joule being burned every day, out of existence, baby. And even for that matter, okay, this drives me nuts how this happens. Okay, let's do this. So Crystal and Jade, even for that matter, a lot of Crystal is being burned. Maybe that's why, you know, Jade there's such a price difference because of when you come to the meditation circle. Let's come here to the DFK chain. Okay. And we have this token offering spot where 75% of all the crystal here is burned. And hopefully this comes soon also to Serendale, right? Where we can look at that. All of this, 75% of this, right? I think it's 75% of this gets burned. 57,000 crystal burned right there. And they do these like every day, these smaller ones. That crystal is going to get burned. And some of this is pretty reasonable. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Show you. Hey, absolutely. So there's a lot. This game is so mind-blowingly phenomenal in so many different ways for so many different reasons. If you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty of the game, it takes hours, and I love to do it. I love bringing new people on the channel, walking them through, even, you know, how to figure out how to get money in. Okay, you can go in first and foremost. DeFi Kingdoms is a DEX. Okay, and you can provide liquidity, and then you earn, you know, just like a lot of these other DEXs. In Crystalvale, which is one of the realms, Crystalvale is on the DFK chain, which is their own blockchain. It's an Avalanche subnet, totally independent, their own chain though, from Avalanche. They could function completely on their own. They could even break off and be their own blockchain, not even any longer be an Avalanche subnet. Okay. And this is Crystalvale is on the DFK chain, is Crystalvale. So Serendale was originally on the Harmony blockchain. And then the hack, first Luna crushed us. Okay, because we were even looking at, we want to be a multi-chain game. Okay. And so Luna was one of the blockchains they were looking at and, you know, thinking about it. There's so many cool heroes we could have, you know, different themes for different, like Phantom. You'd have a vampire and a Frankenstein, you know, or something. And Luna, we could have like a space alien guy, you know, or people were speculating all the time. Okay. And so then what they did eventually, which it's amazing the team even survived what they survived. Okay. They eventually surprisingly surprised us all that Serendale, okay, this is Serendale right here, baby, the original. And okay, there's lands over here. What do we got going on here? We got Ogre Abroad. He's got his land there. And this land will have use case. So first and foremost, it's a DEX. Okay. And you can come here to the gardens and you can put up liquidity, right? You go to the seed. First, you go to the Druid to create the liquidity, and then you deposit the liquidity in the seed box. You can see there's some good APR. On Serendale, you earn Jade token, which used to be Joule. So Joule used to be the in-game power token and like their main governance token, all wrapped into one token. Well, after that bridge hack and some other things, so the way they started this thing, they didn't really anticipate it being such a big thing, but they just caught a vision and got awesome people on their team, such as Dreamer, who left. He was an executive with Goldman Sachs. Dreamer, executive with Goldman Sachs, in charge of risk management for Goldman Sachs, okay, and managed their largest accounts. Left Goldman Sachs and joined DeFi Kingdoms, okay, because his wife, Pieface, started this with Frisky Fox, who's a brilliant dev, started this thing together. Then they got guys on the team like big brains, high IQ guys like Hubert Cumberdale, baby, and some of these other Beetle Dude, some just GOAT level developers on this developing the game. And they decided to make not just any game, but to make a badass game. So you earn now. So what they did was with Jewel, okay, there was a massive unlocking that was coming. And they had always said, you know, as they've gone on, they've kind of realized some of their mistakes. One of their mistakes was the tokenomics with Jewel and the APR, and the way it kind of worked out over 2 years wasn't the best. That's their number one mistake they said they would have made, that they made. And so there's a big unlocking of locked Jewel that was coming, that was going to get dumped into the ecosystem after the bridge hack. And they, you know, a lot of this was Dreamer stepping in. Jewel is now just 125 million supply, and it's basically fully circulated. There's like maybe 1 million or so or less that's not circulating, that's yet to be released. I think it's less than 1 million. So basically fully diluted circulation, 125 million Jewel. That's 4,000 of which on average is burned every day, baby. DFK community is the best. DFK team is the dream team, baby. And the game is designed by some of the biggest gaming nerds on the planet. Wisdom Labs times DFK. That's right. So what they did was they made Jewel the governance token. Okay. And it's not just the governance token. You stake it in the jeweler, okay, which is different from the gardens. You can also put Jewel in the gardens. You earn Jade on Serendale, Crystal token on Crystalvale, and there's going to be 2 more realms built on 2 other blockchains, probably Matic being one of them. Who knows what else? Kind of surprised us all. Klaytn had just worked out, and they're massively huge over there in South Korea. They're like the Facebook of South Korea, and AT&T and Facebook combined in South Korea. Okay, the Klaytn blockchain it just worked out. Good partnership. Okay, so now this is on the Klaytn blockchain, and Klaytn has really had some good price action here lately too, even though it did come way back down after this recent crash. But it went from like 14 cents all the way up to 38 cents in a pretty short amount of time. Now it's at like 22-ish cents. Okay. And so a lot of good things going on there. Klaytn also, their tokenomics is updated much better. 50% burned out of existence, baby. So there's 50% fewer Clay tokens now. Okay. So Klaytn is the gas fee on Serendale, which was Harmony. Okay. And the gas token for Crystalvale on the DFK chain is Jewel. And this also, other developers can come and build games. They can function like a Gala Games. And work and help other games develop on their blockchain. That's actually happening right now. Okay. It's considered a regional bank, 100% sure. Yeah. So the DFK subnet, that's right. It does more transactions than the entire Ethereum blockchain every single day. And at its peak, it was over 4 million transactions in one day. No problems. Fraction of a penny, baby. Phenomenal chain. Anybody that wants to build on the chain, they can come build on the chain. Okay. So then you're earning this Jewel, or you're earning this Jade and this Crystal. What do you do with that? All right. It's the in-game power token to the most in-depth, insane NFTs there are in all of crypto, are the DeFi Kingdoms hero NFTs. And the genetics. So if you look at the code of the NFTs, the most complex NFTs in crypto, and there's lots of genetics. There's all kinds of things. And what they're doing, they teamed up with Wisdom Gaming that I just got back from. I met the founder of Wisdom Gaming just this past week. Spent some time together, baby. I love it. He's developing a phenomenal, full-blown combat game, PvP and PvE game, full blown with these heroes. And there's all different kinds. There's a whole bunch that goes into the heroes. There's also other little mini games within this game. And your heroes, you want to quest them as frequently as possible. You quest them and you want to level them up. And as they quest, they earn in-game items. Okay? And and as you level them up, that requires some in-game items. Like in a level up, it requires crystal or jade. Crystal and jade are basically, they have the same function, do the same thing. Crystal and jade. That's why it's so weird that jade is so much lower than crystal. That should, over time, balance out. I can explain why it isn't balanced later. So then you can do all these different things with the heroes. You want to quest them. They gain XP for every quest. And as they get items in their profession questing and different quests out there, they get items. And as they get items, they get XP. And as they quest, they get XP, baby. So much development. That's right. It's like mind blowing when you look at the hero skill trees, the in-depth genetics of the heroes. It's unbelievable how developed this game is. And the past few weeks, I've had new players come on the channel and I've walked them through initial steps on how to get in the game. And both videos, 4 hours long, and they've just barely get the tip of the iceberg. That's how awesome this is. But one thing that's really fun, you get the heroes together. The heroes have value because you send them on a quest and they get items that are, it's a crypto coin. It's an ERC, whatever coin, okay, that actually has real world value and real world demand, okay? Now the demand right now is down because the sentiment is down because of all the shit we've been through in this ecosystem. But once people realize the dream team of all dream teams, all the stuff going, okay, it's unbelievable. So there's tons of things you can do in the game already. You can duel, and that's like a card game, kind of, the dueling part of things. You want to level your hero up, get them at high levels, which raises their stat points. There's different rarities of the heroes. The better the rarities, the better it helps their future stat growth. Okay, and then your heroes have a limited number of summons that we call them, where you can pair two heroes together and summon them. Now genetics get involved, and we want the heroes to mutate the summons so they can get advanced classed heroes or elite classed heroes or even exalted hero, which is the Dread Knight. Okay, and all those heroes are worth substantially more for different reasons. Their stats grow a little faster. Okay, and so there's so much more that goes into this. One of the items you can get while questing is eggs, and eggs you can hatch, and you get pets. So there's pets in this game. Let me show you my pets, baby. I got some good pets. Which where am I here? Okay, I'm on my son's account. Let's take a look at my pets, baby. We got some rare pets here. Here's a legendary Shadow Direwolf. Okay. And they have different levels of rarity, which is legendary. Mythic is the best. Same with heroes. You got common, uncommon, rare, legendary, and mythic. And so in this case, the mythic, the rarity helps when so soon, and we're talking within 3 weeks, we're going to now finally at last have use case for the pets. We haven't had use case for these pets all this time. But the demand to get the pets is going to skyrocket. How do you get the pets? You got to hatch eggs. To hatch eggs, it costs either crystal or jade. Okay, then it costs tiers. Tiers is one of the items in the game that has, at one point, we're like, from last August, we were 50x up on the tiers. 50x on just the tiers in this ecosystem. Well, now from there, it's down about 65% from where it was just at 2.4 cents per tier. Now it's below 1 penny, but that's still way up if you compare to August. because the demand will then soon, there's not enough tiers. The brains behind this ecosystem will cause all of the in-game items to skyrocket. Okay, when the use case comes, which is real soon. We're talking real soon, like by the end of the month. All right, we're gonna be having all kinds of stuff in this game. We're gonna have Profession 10 level questing coming, and the upgraded diamond contracts that they've been working on has caused some delays. Okay, because they've reworked a lot of the contracts within the game. They've been working 7 days a week, nonstop. They're like, it's like, damn. I even get a little worried about the team because they're always grinding, always working. On top of that, what does the team do? They do weekly AMAs. You can actually approach the founder of the project. You can actually approach Dreamer and often get a response to your questions. All the team, they're there. You can hit them up on Discord. And then, or you can go to this site called talk.defykingdoms.com. You can ask a question. You can put in a suggestion. The team will address that in their weekly AMAs, and you'll actually get a response because the team is transparent. They have awesome core values. They look out for the best interests of the community and the project, even over their own best interests, over their own bags. Okay, and they're doing their best. They want what's best for everyone, and they have a vision and a passion to grind and make an awesome project and be phenomenal. Okay, so when these pets, look out, because as that's going to cause so many of the in-game items that are so way down in value to skyrocket, because now we're going to have a demand for these items. We're going to have a demand for the pets that's going to drive a demand for the items. And there's, like, for tiers, for example, there's not enough tiers in existence to hatch all the eggs that are in existence. And so, you know, we're going to want to buy more heroes to get more tiers. You get more heroes, you send them on a quest, you get the in-game items, baby. It's phenomenal. This game is absolutely brilliant. And when you start getting on these summoning trips, it's so cool how this works. And all of these little different pieces of the game that I've already mentioned require a whole separate training video, of which we'll do. There'll be lots of training videos out there. Yes, you bet. I love it. The community, phenomenal. So in the description below is the Discord to the community. I also added in the description below. So, oh, you know what? I think I need to update. My Twitter is now updated. I did change it to CryptoGrady1. Is my @CryptoGrady1, just so you guys know. Okay. Took away my blue check mark. I had just gotten my blue check mark. Finally, you know, there's like a waiting period. You got to wait forever. And then finally, now it took it back away once I updated that yesterday. Anyways, also, I put the RPCs to add for Klaytn, blockchain, and DFKchain. Okay, we can talk about how to get the money in. You know, you can buy KLAY, send that in to the Klaytn, straight into Klaytn from like KuCoin. They also work with Synapse Bridge, which is one of the biggest bridges. They're like partnered with them. They're really close with Synapse. And so you can bridge into the DFK chain with your Avalanche, with your USDC, which I would say be careful. But Avalanche, you can send that in that way, bridge it right in. And even on the Avalanche chain, you'll have this bridge option over here. You can bridge it in game right here. Bridge tokens. That's the Synapse bridge built right into the game. Okay. So as all these, you know, the heroes, we can go into depth. There's different generations. Okay. You flip in the back of the card. You can look at the genetics now. A lot of these were updated, and the ability genes. You can look at all kinds of things. The recessive genes of what all these different heroes are. You can summon them together to get advanced heroes. You can summon 2 advanced heroes to get elite heroes, summon the 2 elite heroes to get exalted heroes. Real low chances though, like to get a mythic hero or a mythic pet is a big deal. It means they grow. It helps them grow stats faster over time. Okay. What's up, Mookie baby? I love it. Okay. Yeah. Game's still early. Good time to get in. Grady has some good videos for people just starting. One guy, first summon, he tried to hit a mythic via dark summoning. Yeah, so there's dark summoning even where you can burn the hero, kill the hero out of existence when you dark summon. You kill them both because all these heroes have a certain number of summons. Like this paladin, he started off with 5 summons. Now he's got 0. If you can see that. But unless you have a generation 0 hero, Gen 0 heroes, there's only 250 of each class of Gen 0 heroes. And they're only basic class. Finite amount. That's why those are worth, a good $2,500, $3,000. I think they come down a little bit here recently. Yeah, expert, baby. In the description below, I've got so many tools. DFK Expert has all these infographics that gives you the class tree. So if you summon a warrior with a knight, you've got a 14% chance to hit a paladin. If you summon a thief and an archer, you got a 14% chance at least to hit a dark knight. But depending on the recessive genes, you can increase that to 22% even. Okay, if you summon 2 pure breeds together. And this gets so fun. Then a dark knight and a paladin together can get a dragoon, which is an elite class. And then a dragoon and a sage summon together can get a dread knight. And then as they open up, and they've got 2 more realms they're going to launch down the road once the game comes out, which we're going to get to the game in a second. And when that comes, each new realm will have 2 new heroes. They give away all the Gen Zeros. Give away. You can win them by, participating in the game or staking jewel in the jeweler. And those bad boys are worth a pretty penny. Again, at least $2,500, $3,000 in that range. Okay, at the floor, we're talking the floor. Some of which are worth 10 grand. If you got a more rare one it's a pure breed. Okay. And so then we're going to have 2 exalted classes that will then create a transcendent class. And so it's just the bomb. So then they're building out the game, the combat system of the game. And all the heroes are absolutely OP. They're all phenomenal. And it's going to be it's going to be easy to play as long as you know how to work MetaMask. It'll be easy to jump in there and play. You're going to get rewarded for doing it. Okay. And you can even win if you win. Okay. You can make money doing it. It'll be an esport level game. Esport level game, baby. And with this partnership we've got with Klaytn blockchain in South Korea, all kinds of things going on. It's mind blowing. So they're working on the marketing over there, but in the South Korea, they're all a bunch of gamers. And a lot of them are geek out, nerd out, strategy type games like Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. Okay, that's kind of like along the lines of sort of, and there's other games too that help draw their inspiration to the game. And it's so fun. It's so in depth. Okay, and then the pets are going to play into it all, and then there's going to be crafting. So, and so speaking of the PvP game, the test net is coming, I think, fairly soon, baby, where we're all going to be able to test it out and try and break the game because, it's mind blowing what they put out there. They put out the details for the PvP game coming out on most of the basic class heroes, which are all the heroes at the bottom here. Most of these we already have detail. We're waiting on the monk. Let's see. We're waiting on the thief. The thief is coming up on Monday. We're going to get the alpha on the thief and all of the in-depth info on the skills for a thief and all the options that we have. And it's way in depth. And all these heroes also have ability genes. Okay. And all the ability genes have different classes too. So a basic 1 paired with a basic 2 has a 14% chance to hit an advanced ability. Okay. And then that will help for PvP. Big deal too. All the way up to exalted abilities, which includes resurrection. You die, you resurrect, and you're, with 50% health, which is there's not very many of those in the game. Yes. Oh, baby. That's right. Stomposaurus. He's He's like, he knows code. He's working, maybe he's working some mad skills on developing some different things out. Yeah, I love this, man. So wait, there you gotta wait lit or what Wita lit. How do I pronounce that? I love it. I cannot read. Okay, so that we're still just scratching the surface, baby, of how awesome this game is. And it's not like you can just come in and start with, putting some liquidity in here. And I get people on the show all the time talking about this game that are brand new, that don't know anything. They're green. I'll help you A to Z. The purpose of my channel, for the most, like 90% or so, my channel has been up to this point anyways, focusing on this game and helping give all the alpha. No secrets. There's all kinds of different arbitrage. This game has an in-game economy that's phenomenal. It's one of, if not the best kept secrets in all of crypto. The most phenomenal freaking project in crypto that nobody knows about. It's like, so George, I am George, Cryptos RS. He's back onto it a little bit. He's like, ooh, I've been connecting with George, baby. Okay, and he's going to be, so we're hoping and praying. That was how I met Jet in Central Miami. I happened to just bump into him, had this presence there, and he actually approached me talking about being on this TV show. And I was like, what is this guy talking about? It was funny. And so I wasn't sure, but I liked him. It's like, okay, let's see what this is all about. The more I've gotten to know Jet, he is absolutely a phenomenal dude. Awesome guy. And I think DeFi Kingdoms has a real chance to be on that TV show, baby. We're hoping and praying. But the problem is there's not going to be an announcement. We're not going to know until the show goes live on air. That's how we find out. There's the top 16 projects that make the cut, and then there's a top 4 after the top 16 that make the cut. And then I think a lot of the show is focusing on those top 4. I'm hoping and praying, baby, we make it in the top 4. And then I think there's a winner. It's like Shark Tank combined with like The Voice or American Idol, baby. But for crypto, I love it. I cannot wait. I know, right? So I'm connecting with George about this project because George was in on this project a year ago, right? A year ago, George was like big on this, pumped about it. We had 55,000 daily active users. Then there was some BS FUD, like you can prove it's provable false FUD against the team, saying that Frisky Fox was trying to rug pull the project, this and that. We could go more into detail if you wanted to. And I knew it was false. And I couldn't help myself. But the narrative stuck. The narrative stuck. Because again, like most crypto projects, their strengths are not messaging and marketing. So they didn't jump out in front of it. They didn't jump out in front of it with George. And it drove me nuts. And I couldn't help myself. Well, if they're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. Because Frisky Fox, right, is an absolute empathic gem. He worked for this project as the head developer, founder of the project, making $0.00 for months. Wasn't even getting paid. He's a servant to the space. He's the bomb. The team is the bomb. Their core values are the bomb. And so I couldn't help myself. I was so frustrated. Like, why they weren't getting out in front of all the false accusations and they weren't messaging, driving me nuts. So I was hitting up Frisky. I was like, you need to bring me on to be your messaging marketing PR guy. It's driving me nuts. Well, so I started this channel a lot as like a job application for the team. Okay. And been grinding for months. It's not looking like I'm going to be on the team, but that's okay. It opens up other opportunities. We'll figure out other things going. But I've been like full time trying to do. So like the day George was fudding the project, like he wasn't fudding the project intentionally. He was just like relaying the fake news about the project, about Frisky Fox is stepping down It's not like DeFi Kingdoms probably won't survive. He was saying stuff like that. 98% exodus out of the ecosystem of DeFi Kingdoms. Okay. So, and then after that came the bridge hack. And so all of us faithful, awesome community, which at one point got down as low as less than 500, like even down to 400 daily active users. Okay. And you don't want to follow the wallets because a lot of us have multiple wallets nowadays. Back then we didn't, not as much anyways. I mean, some people did, but not very many people did have multiple wallets. Now, most of us still in the game have multiple wallets. And because of the ecosystem, you know, departing and selling everything, the value of the heroes, the value of Jewel, the value of everything is just been destroyed. But, you know, and I started the YouTube channel when I saw this ecosystem just dying. It was a real turmoil. And I was trying to say, hey, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to have a team like this with a project like this. Everything about it is phenomenal. So I couldn't help it, started the channel, and, you know, we've seen a resurgence back. Recently, we got back up to over 1,000 daily active users, right, in the project. But now, over this last month, so when we moved to Klaytn, it did bring some challenges. They didn't realize this. Klaytn has a 1 second block time, right? So it's made it a lot harder. They're the only crypto, by the way, that's even close to having a 1 second finality block time, whatever that means. Okay, so it's all got to be done in that 1 second block, which is really fast, by the way. It's awesome, but it's made him, it's had some setbacks along the way, causing delays, but it's actually in the end will be for the good because they're updating all their contracts in the game to diamond contracts, whatever that means. But it's better and faster and everything. Okay, that's all I know on that. So because of these delays and everyone's just gotten destroyed in the ecosystem, the sentiment is so way down. Yes, so fast. Like no one's even close in all of crypto to having 1 second finality block times, apparently. Not that I know anything about any of this. We need to get iOS code on here or somebody to Stomp could maybe tell us. Hanging out with my daughter. I love it. Yeah, baby. Stomposaurus, baby. Okay. So, yep, FUD is FUD. Let's get eyes on the project. So I've been like on a mission to pursue guys like George and Hustle. Hustle was also with Crypto Banter, was also big on the project. All of a sudden, Hustle mentioned it again yesterday, just in passing. Referenced, though, DeFi Kingdoms in a good light. Okay, he didn't do it for months and months, and I cannot get a hold of that guy for the life of me. I tried to find him in Decentral Miami. Couldn't get through to him. My hero count is over 1,800 heroes, baby. So I got an army. Yeah, Hustle. So one day I'm going to get on Hustle's show. We're going to get on George's show. We're going to get on BitBoy's show, baby. We're going to get on Altcoin Daily's show, which I did totally connect with Altcoin Daily and BitBoy about the project. Okay. And as the awareness spreads and as the awareness of the quality and the awesomeness of this team continues to grow. Okay. I think it's going to be bullish, man. People are going to come back in, I hope. Okay. As long as people know about it. I can't just keep doing all this. So I was trying to actually just get on the team just out of sheer drive, not for any other reason, but to help the project. That's not going to happen. I don't think. It's not looking like. And so, but I think there's a couple things coming that I know about. Also, I'm hoping and praying it makes it on the TV show Next Crypto Gym, baby. Yes. And so Ease and chill, baby. I love it. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. So, and I had Crypto Lifer on the show yesterday. So that's just going to open up. He hit me up. I wonder if he's responded back to my email yet, actually. Doug Hype hit me up. Okay. He hit me up this morning about coming on a show, baby. So that's what we're doing. We're grinding. Okay. And it's, believe me, it's a grind. It's an absolute grind. And projects don't get it. And it drives me nuts. So the mindset of the ecosystem has been, they'll just come back. People will just come back in the bull run. It's not how it works in crypto. It's an absolute mother effing tireless grind. And so it's such a big deal to get Crypto Lifer on the channel. It's a grind. You know how many super chats that took? You know how many times I went onto his channel, giving him love, giving him props, emails, super chats, and finally getting him on. That was like the birthday present of all birthday presents. Oh. Okay. So it's like a big deal when that happens. It takes a lot of work. Okay. And I connected with him in Decentral, but it didn't stick on his radar. You know, he's not talking about DeFi Kingdoms much. But as the grind continues, and he came on the show, guess what he said last night? Guess what he said on the show yesterday? He said, you guys are like the only project that's really sticking, that's like pursuing me, that keeps coming after me. That's what he said. I don't know if maybe there's somebody else in the community too that's in there, you know, giving DeFi Kingdom shout outs and things. It's okay. That's because I've been in there grinding. That didn't just happen, people. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Okay. With George finally getting him turned back on to DeFi Kingdoms. Endless, tireless work. Baby. Okay, so now we got Crypto Lifer hitting me up to be on his channel, maybe. Right? And connect and add value. He's a good dude. Keep adding value. Spreading the love, baby. That's how this works. Get him talking about DeFi Kingdoms. Now that I'm on with Crypto Lifer, or now that he's on my channel, how much easier will it be to get some of these other ones I've been pursuing? Cultivate Crypto, Debate Crypto, Crypto Windio. What's his name? Hello, mustache guy, gamer guy, Hustle. Yes. Okay. So, but the biggest thing I think will be if we can make it on this TV show, baby. And there's more besides that too that I can't talk about. So I think DeFi Kingdoms has so much upside. It's just a tiny, dinky little market cap coin, Jewel. It's egregiously undervalued for what it is, for the value that it offers. When you stake Jewel in the jeweler, it's the gas token for one, okay, for the DFK chain. It's a governance token, but it's also the token that provides in-game power-ups to your heroes. And those are going to continue to increase more and more and more. And it's so big brains. So the demand of Jewel is only going to continue to rise. And really, to get the best bang for your buck in the jeweler, you got to put it in there for 3 years, all right? And you get good interest for doing it. You lock it away for 3 years if you want the best bang for your buck when it comes to the power-ups. You don't have to lock it up. You have to lock it up for a minimum of 7 days, but that won't give you very much C Jewel or S Jewel if you want the power-up. So people are going to come in and want to play the game because the game is fun. And you're going to want to it's going to have a competitive edge. You're going to want to get in here and have the best heroes and the best pets and have the best power-ups all of which require, it's all so big brains. It's so phenomenal, this game. And it's like criminally undervalued. It's criminally underhyped out there. It's not talked about enough. It's freaking criminal. It's a crypto crime. Jewel is, I mean, a lot of us call ourselves Jewel Maxis. Baby. The more sell, the more I can buy. iOS code, baby. So, but the sentiment is so low, it's worrisome to me. Because it won't just come back on its own. It won't just come back in the bull run. Like a lot of people just think it'll magically happen. Not without a grind. Not without an absolute freaking grind. So, and, you know, I can't just keep doing all this. The team, you know, they haven't, it's like they didn't even send me a message. They didn't even like my tweet yesterday that Lifer was on the show. They didn't even give it a like. They didn't give me a shout out. They didn't even give me a mess, and they never do. It's like such a disconnect brick wall on that front, and I don't get it. 100% of DeFi Kingdoms problems, 100% of the time is messaging. 100% of DeFi Kingdoms problems, 100% of the time is just basic messaging. So yes, but that's going to change. And it's like they're the bomb. I love hanging out with them. I got to see them. They're awesome. And when I do see them, you know, they'll be like a little appreciative. A little bit. Yeah. But so it's just weird to me. And so a lot of the people that were in the project for a long time that kind of also fudded the project, they're just frustrated at the teams, what it comes down to every single time, every single problem, every single time from every person that's ever fudded the project. 100% of the time, it's just the team's messaging every time. That's it. It's not the fundamentals, the awesomeness, not their core values. It's not that they always do what's right. They always look out for the best interests of the community, even over their own best interests. They try to communicate. They try and do their best, but it's like they just don't get it when it comes to messaging, you know, and but they're still better than most other crypto projects out there because they all suck with messaging, all of them, except the scam hype coins that have no use case. And in many of those cases, all they do is hype up the coin when there's no real use case. It's like you either get one or the other in crypto. You either get a bunch of straight, brilliant, geek, nerd developer guys that just grind and develop and have no charisma to their project. The sentiment, they don't even like put any attention to the sentiment of their ecosystem and the project, but they're just grinding and putting out a good project or a good product, whatever it is they're doing in these different projects. But they don't message, they don't communicate, they don't have good sentiment, or it's either that extreme, or most all these projects are just hype projects with no fundamentals at all whatsoever. It's like you almost never get both. You almost never, ever get both. Okay. What else? All right. So you guys, it's coming, and it's going to come like a freight train. When the green egg hatching opens up, when Profession 10 level questing opens up and pet utility opens up, look out. It'll be like a freaking freight train. What's coming? They finally updated the ticker spreadsheet. Level 10 Profession quest solidity coding has started on 3/9. Awesome. That's great. That's great. So when I checked with Hubert, I talked to Hubert and I said, how's everything coming? Everything's still on schedule. Like they got to do finish updating some of the diamond contracts so they can do the gene rerolls And then after the gene rerolls, which is probably going to happen this week, then approximately 2 weeks after that, we're going to have green egg hatching profession, 10-level quest. I asked Hubert, how's all that coming? He said, yep, coming good, on schedule. Hubert never like puts his foot down on a timing of a project. Like it's always like loosey-goosey time estimates. But when Hubert does give an actual timeline, you can pretty much take it to the bank, baby. It's coming. Yeah. Tracker spreadsheet sat there with no updates for 3 weeks. Yep. Sentiment is, I don't know. It's just crazy how quickly the sentiment fell so fast in this ecosystem. It's just wild to me. We are just a beat down ecosystem. And then there's a couple like forks of this project, right? We got that one on Arbitrum. That's interesting. Maybe I'll get them on the channel. And apparently that one's going to like launch. You can right now jump in for the APRs. Okay. High APRs. And it's like a copycat of DeFi Kingdoms, like Mind Games or something. And I guess they're going to have like the game ready to go here soon. Like when they launch it, they're launching the heroes, I guess like the Gen Zero heroes. Then there's another fork of the game somewhere else I don't even know anything about. I just heard about it. I think I heard about it from Drake. That's right. I talked to Drake. Maybe going to get Drake on the channel, baby. Get him in here. Okay. Yeah, meshing with some of these ecosystems, other ecosystems has helped also. So I want to get other games. I'm going to turn a lot of my focus towards connecting with other projects, other games, right? So we've had these forks that's come up, and that might have diverted some attention. So on top of the sentiment being low, okay, we've had a couple of forks happen, and people are maybe putting some attention on those. And then we've got Dragons Crossing, right? Which Bloater Punch, Sandwich Punch, Baby Punch, baby, and Brown Gent. They're on that project. I'm gonna get Bloater Punch on the channel, baby. I think soon, like beginning of this week. Gonna pin him down like a butterfly in a killing board. See what this is all about. But it seems like he's got an awesome thing going. Got an awesome vision going for the project. We're gonna talk all about it. And they had a town hall yesterday. I watched it twice, but my head, I've been so all over the place, like chatting with a zillion people and this and that, all kinds of things going on. And I watched it twice, but it was like, I might watch it again. It's now on YouTube. Effects. I really want to get you on the channel, dude. I miss you, baby. I miss you. Right. So there's all these the sentiments down, plus these other projects are starting. And I think just the morale is down, but it'll come back like a freaking freight train once this stuff gets listed. Effects, start over, 2.0 speed, baby. Okay. All right. Hey, love you, man. I'm going to wrap up too. Thanks, Grady, for the intro into DeFi Kingdoms. I love you, man. Jump in Hourglass TG. We need your energy. What's Hourglass TG? What's that? Hourglass TG. Telegram. I don't mess too much with Telegram, but maybe. Dude, it would just be awesome to get Jet on. Yeah, Dragons Crossing looks super cool. Their whole vision is on point. He's got a strong why, it seems like. Yeah. Still grinding till the wheels fall off. Tell me more. Are you grinding? I want to hear it. Do you want to come on the channel? Hit me up. Hit me up. Let's talk. I want to hear what you're doing. What's your tell me. What are you doing, baby? Game 407. I miss you. Yes. Miss Rock. I know. I so miss Rock. Yeah, been laying low, watching some vids and stuff though. Yeah, hang in there, guys. Just hang tight. It's coming. Thanks, bro. Take it easy. Love you, man. We'll see you. Okay. Got to get you on effects. Got to get you on, baby. We got to connect. So much going on. Oh man, I'm exhausted, and I think I'm supposed to get the kids. Haven't heard from them though. Just Doug Height, baby. So yeah, Dragon's Crossing, man. That's interesting. Let's get them on. Let's get them on the channel, baby. See what this is all about. I want to wrap my mind around it a little more. See what's going on there. But from everything I can tell, Bloater Punch and the other guy, what was his name? Starts with an M. Starts with an M, I think. They did a great town hall yesterday. It's now on YouTube. All right, guys. Start over, watch 2x speed, at least 1.5x speed. Love you guys. I just hit a brick wall. Crypto, Grady, out. I miss you guys. Love you guys. Take care. I'll be back. If not tomorrow, probably Monday. Gonna figure out a time to get Bloater Punch, maybe Monday. Get him on the show. Let's figure this thing out. Let's do this. Love it. DeFi Kingdoms, I'm bullish, baby. Hang in there, fam. Hang in there. Guys, we'll make it through. We'll make it through all this craziness too, by the way. We're going to make it through. We're going to do it. Love you guys. Crypto Grady out.